All right, welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Jared Suter, Dom Juan. Your God is not with us today, but Jared is always with us in spirit.
Always.
All right. To say that the guest we have on today is a special guest, I think would be an understatement.
Huge understatement.
Just given his career, given his trajectory.
There's just a certain group of people that really matter in the music space that seem to think that this is different. You know, this would be just an insane notch. We'll get to that, but...
Well, can we just... And we'll get into them later, but can we just name some of the brands that he's associated with just real quick?
If we have time.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of them, but...
If we have time.
We'll start with Capcom, WWE.
Might have heard of them.
PlayStation?
I think I've used one of those before.
Xbox? I own
definitely.
one. Okay.
Definitely.
Marvel? Just...
Yeah.
Are you familiar
don't
with
they have
Marvel?
like their own section on Disney
think
Plus?
so.
Is
I
on the
think
Disney
so.
Plus? Okay. So that's kind of a big deal.
So,
it's kind of a big deal.
I mean, that right there says it all. We're talking teacher, rapper, hero, Grammy-nominated artist. A new genre we're learning about, Nerdcore. We're going to get into that. Legend. Low-key, maybe, too, one of the best storytellers, at least in Phoenix hip-hop, perhaps all of hip-hop. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Mega Ran today.
Hey. That's a great
Thank you
intro.
for
Make it
joining
claps.
us. Thank you for joining us, man. This
Thank
is
you.
huge. This is a big deal, and congrats. Congrats.
Thank you so much. It still feels unreal. When people say congrats, I'll be like, for what? Like, I almost forget because this just seems nuts.
Well, but if Channel 3 is pulling up to your studio and talking to you about what, can I just say, as someone, you've been in Arizona, I think I heard you say about 15 years now.
Yes.
Channel 3, I mean, if you're in Arizona, that's a legend.
Kind of big, right?
It's a big deal.
It is a
a
big
huge
deal.
deal.
I'm honored. Yeah, they came to the studio. I went to their studio for a follow-up interview. It's been kind of crazy. And now I'm on Within Range. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. We like
Yeah.
that.
Man, so I know a lot of people, if they know you and know your story, from Philly originally, right?
Yes.
And then been out in Arizona 15 years.
Yes.
The music itch, the music bug, what age did it catch you? When did you discover that?
Oh man, that was early on. Like, I'd say for me, just listening and enjoying music happened very early because Philadelphia was like the home of like soul music.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The Roots.
It was like, yeah, like you had the neo soul movement started. Even before that, we had Philly International Records. So Teddy Pendergrass.
That's right. Teddy P.
There's
Who
the
was
OJs recorded
who was
out
the
there.
legendary producer? Sorry, from Philly. There's it's a duo.
Gamble and Huff.
Jared, these guys.
Look them up. Their discography, a mile long, so many hits. It was like the second Motown almost when it came to like soul music. So constantly just listening to that stuff in the house, mom's cleaning, all that. But fast forward though, you did say I've been in Arizona 15 years. That was kind of tough for me when I first got here. I remember people being like, "He's not even from here, man."
Oh, we hear that?
I got a lot of flack. Like the moment like any press started for me or anybody wanted to talk about me in the New Times or something cool like that.
Because you're not from 7th and Baseline, though.
Like,
dude.
you're not even from here. And it's like, well, you know, I am here. And a great poet, Rakim, said, "It ain't where you from.
It's where you at.
It's where you at."
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that, man, because
Especially
hip hop
in
is
Arizona.
universal. And so everybody hears from somewhere else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, like I got so much love. Like I taught in the city. Like I might as well be from here. Like I taught
on.
in the city for a good amount of time, you know, teaching these babies, you know. So I'm pretty much in the soil now at this point, you know?
I mean, and we've come across that. It's like, look what you've accomplished since you've been here. I mean, you can claim this place too. You know what I mean? Like,
but that was a
respectfully.
hard thing for me to like come to grips with as well.
Yeah.
Being from Philadelphia, it's such a strong town in music. Black Thought is my favorite MC of all time. So like being a fan of the Roots, Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff, all that cool stuff that happened out there. Like Philly is such a part of me. But the story really begins for Mega Ran in Arizona.
Love that.
And so I'm 10 toes down, you know, out here. My family's here. Like we're here, you know?
I feel the same way. I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, and you know, I've been out here about the same, I think, probably 15 15 to 20 years now at this point. Like, I think I came out here and I've lived here 2 separate times. But anyways, like, yeah, everyone's from here. And it's funny because I think with sports teams, you know, someone can get drafted from some city, go play for another city that they're not from and become an icon or a symbol. Like Larry Bird is from, you know, he's a legend in both, but he's also a legend in Boston where he's not from. And it's just like, why is that not the same thing in music? Why is that, you know, it's interesting.
It's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
With the
That's a
sports
good
parallel.
Yeah, it's just like people can come there and be the hero of some city that they're
Jordan's
not
not
from.
from Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
He's-
Exactly. And it's just like, I think he probably hasn't paid for a drink there in quite a while, you know?
You know, probably ever.
Yeah.
To say the least. You mentioned teaching. That was kind of, I think, early in your career. That's what you started doing. But do the research. I think we found that you had a moment where you said, like, I have to leave the classroom.
I did. It was. I feel like I was not necessarily being pushed, but I felt the winds kind of blowing me into something else. Like I was spending my nights writing songs, just nonstop writing raps, performing, you know, late nights, going to open mics, doing whatever I could do on the weekends, touring sometimes on the weekends, summer breaks. And I'd be up till 4 or 5 in the morning making the perfect beat and then get to work at 6:30, you know what I mean? And I'm like half asleep, dozing. And I just realized like I'm kind of doing a disservice to the job, to the kids. I need to either be all the way in or, you know,
Are you locked in or are you not locked in?
Right. So I realized I was not quite locked in, you know, because music was constantly on my mind. But I didn't have an escape per se. I didn't have an exit plan. You know what I mean? And then I wrote a rap one day that I wrote about Jeremy Lin, speaking of sports.
That's right. Jeremy Lin,
2012,
that's
I
great.
wrote a song about Jeremy Lin.
What a pool. Too.
And man, Jeremy Lin was, you know,
he
that
had
was
his
a moment.
dude. Exactly.
was
Did
a
you watch
moment.
the doc on
Yes,
HBO? They
it's
did
really
about
good.
it? Yeah.
His injury, right? Like, didn't he get hurt or?
He just kind of
Fizzled out a
yeah,
little bit.
no team just really
Just kind of
believed in
fizzled
the
out.
boy.
But he had a great run.
55 in the Garden.
Unbelievable. I will never forget. This man went nuts.
Crazy.
And so I wrote a rap about him, and it was on ESPN like the next day. They were
right.
emailing me like, yo, can we put this on TV? And I was like, what? Like, that's when I realized the power of the internet and going viral and being quick on stuff. And that's when I got the first itch, like maybe I can do this, because like the next song was like that they played on the segment was a Lil Wayne song or something like
So
that.
yeah, really. So it took ESPN calling you to be like, oh yeah, like I have.
So
too.
I was like, yo, I
That's
think,
like you know what I mean. Like that was.
I'd say that's
I
the
might
official
have
go
something.
sign.
So then
yes.
records started selling and things like my past catalog. I noticed some stuff was doing cool, and I remember same thing. I looked on the iTunes charts, and it was like I'm between like Kanye and like Wayne, and I was just
That's
like, well, these guys don't go to work the next morning.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was again like, all right, gears are turning. Like, how do I get out of here? How do I translate this into moving on? And so luckily I got. I was getting booked for gigs on weekends, playing these conventions, like video game conventions, music conventions, whatever. And next thing you know, I was like, I think I really want to try this. Like, I'm gonna put in the 2 weeks notice and just give it a whirl. And I did. And my school, they weren't super understanding. They were kind of hating, but they let me out, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's just like
eventually-
you're reversing the dynamic, the classic, like my teacher, every rapper raps about how their teacher said that they were foolish for writing rhymes instead of paying attention in
That's
class.
right, I
and you're
flipped
like,
it.
I'm going to leave this
I'm
school
the
to
guy,
go be a
right?
rapper.
Yeah.
And they're like, traitor.
Yeah, they didn't like that. But one of my
seems
kids,
to be
man,
working
this kid Javier, I'll never forget, was like, you know, Mr. J, you're kind of teaching us a really important lesson, like that it's important to go for what you believe in. And I was like, oh man, thanks, dude, because I was really feeling bad. Like, I'm not going to see these kids graduate. I'm not going to be there for them. And I put in my 2 weeks notice, and the school was so salty, they fired me on the first day of the 2 weeks notice. They were like,
they were like, you
well,
can go. Yeah.
you can go now. Go get started on the rest of your life, kid. Kicked me out the door, and I was like, dang, that's
For
messed
anyone
up.
watching, that is a pro move, and it's nice when a company does that, because if you quit, you forfeit some pay there and some stuff. If you are the one that put in notice and then they let you go,
Well, here's what happens there. You know, first, so I'm like, oh, I can get started on my life. I'm gonna go tour, and then I'm like, well, at least I got some unemployment coming. I don't know, something, because I didn't give up the job. They send me unemployment, and then they stop unemployment because the school like disputed it. We go to a hearing over the phone, like while I'm on tour in Oklahoma somewhere. I'm on the phone, and they're like, Well, yeah, he submitted a 2 weeks notice, and the judge is like, "Oh, well, you surrendered your employment." And with an at-will state, if you surrender your employment, they can do whatever they want within that 2 weeks. Wow. So it was my mom's advice, being like, "Put in the 2 weeks notice, do what you're supposed to do." I don't know, man. I don't know if I would recommend that to my son these days. If you want to go, man, because these jobs don't care about you, man. They do not care.
Yeah.
And so they were ready to leave me out in the cold because they thought I was going to sign some lucrative record deal and about to tour the world as a millionaire. I don't know. But yeah,
that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works.
It's that easy.
Yeah, when you rap, you're obviously a success.
Everyone
the way
raps,
it goes.
yeah. I've just decided like willingly not to start rapping yet, to collect my automatic record deal.
There you go.
Yeah.
You don't want the success, not yet.
That's crazy. Gosh.
Yeah, so that was me going through teaching and just trying to figure that stuff out. And then I quit and was like, well, let me figure what do I do now? So I just dropped more music and stuff did okay. And then I got invited. I got 2 really cool opportunities like a week after I quit the job. One of them was to teach college out here, teach music business at a college here. And I was like, well, that would be cool. I get to talk about what I know. But another one was to do a 6-week tour with this rapper named MC Chris, who's like the guy in Nerdcore. And I was like, okay. He did some voices on Adult Swim. He's like so tapped in with the cultures. MCP Pants on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Okay.
So that's great. Has these great songs. And so I was like, well, sure, I'll do that. Like I know what teaching's like. I just did that. So the other choice is clear for me. Took the 6-week tour and really never looked back. That was 2011. So I've been full time since then.
Wow.
I'm just curious because Jerry, we were talking about it before, but like Nerdcore, right? We're just learning about it. I guess, when did you decide that was your lane, and like what drew you?
It kind of was the fans. Like I didn't have a name for the music. I was sampling video games. Mega Ran came from Mega Man, the little blue dude. Pew, 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 pew.
I played some Mega Man in my day. I forget which one.
But these games are very difficult, but they have spectacular soundtracks. Like the music is so dope.
Damn, that's a good point.
And so I went back and started sampling some of the game music and rapping over it, making beats to it. And when I put it online, I was trying to find just like a blog that would cover it or something like that. I was like, who's going to talk about a Mega Man rap album? And so I started searching. And then I found this subgenre culture and community called Nerdcore. And people were like, yeah, this is Nerdcore. And I was like, what the heck is Nerdcore?
Right?
And so basically Nerdcore is, my friend MC Frontalot describes it the best.
MC Frontalot? Yeah.
That's
I'm about to hit you with a dirty butt on this one. So MC Frontalot.
That's awesome.
You never heard of MC Frontalot?
That's a great name.
The godfather of Nerdcore. So he said, you know how rappers are usually like the coolest dude in the room? Like, the rapper because he's like, yo, he's swagged out. He's chilling.
Got the ices blinging.
Yeah, he's looking the part. Nerdcore is the opposite of that. So the Nerdcore rapper is the guy you're like, you rap? I thought you were here to fix my computer, dog. Like, what? You know what I mean? So I found myself somewhere in this world where it was like, we're rapping about science, rapping about video games, rapping about technology, rapping about maybe not being able to find a date, not having all the girls, just like real life stuff. And people started associating it with a genre called Nerdcore. And so when we heard Lupe Fiasco say Lupin the Third.
Oh, yes.
Yo,
Lupe
the Third, dude. I went.
When we heard
I was
that,
a big
we
Lupe
were like,
guy, dude.
Lupe,
Lupe was hard.
He's one of us.
Yes, he
We're
was.
like-
Actually, that's a great.
Yeah, Lupe was one of us.
Okay,
like
real
he would
quick,
never call himself Nerdcore, but
Not to differentiate. Would like the Tribe Called Quest and the De La Souls?
maybe.
They're kind of more soulful, but they were like on the nerdy side.
Maybe. I think so.
Okay.
I think that could kind of work.
Right.
I think who else? Bismarcky was kind of, silly. Maybe early Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince stuff was kind of silly storytelling. I think I can be Mike Tyson. Like that's a very nerdy kind of way to go about things. So basically like a self-aware kind of vibe to it.
I think that's what's cool about like rapping a little bit. It's like someone can be that person, but if they're confident, but then it's coming from a place of authenticity about who they are and they're being honest about it, even if it's like kind of self-deprecating to an extent.
Yes, like comedian style.
But if they're coming at it the right way, like it's you can't deny it.
Yes.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's kind of where the community I kind of found myself in, and they were doing mini festivals and events where Nerdcore cats would get together. Like there was one called Nerdapalooza, and they would do this event in Florida, and they just get everybody together and we just rap, and have fun together. And then through there, I found like there was nerd rock. There was like nerd folk music.
Wait, wow, nerd rock's actually got to be awesome. That's got to be some like Guitar Hero.
Kind of cool, yeah. There's math rock. There's there's wizard rock or W rock with like Harry Potter type stuff. Yeah, man. There's so many like different like avenues for to get your nerdiness out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just started finding these different pockets on the internet. And you find your tribe, as they say, and those people have kind of kept me going through all this time.
Love it, man.
I love how you would be franchise agnostic nerdcore then if there's like Harry Potter rock. So you're general nerdcore. You'd be a general
nerdcore.
Yeah,
I mean, video games are kind of my thing.
Nerdcore.
Right,
yeah.
Video games are my thing, but
would
generally like storytelling and things are like general nerd stuff. Yeah.
If you might even know, but what do you think? What instrument is Hagrid playing in that band? He's got to be a bassist, right? He's got to be bass or drum.
Yeah, I'd say bass.
Bass or drum. I can't.
Maybe drum. Yeah.
He sings like Led Zeppelin on The Immigrant. Come from the land of the ice and snow.
That's great.
You ever have any School of Rock moments in there? Do you ever, while you were teaching at the end, you never put on like, hey, you guys want to hear something really fire?
Just throw something crazy on. I used to try to do that. Like we would do Song of the Day with my kids, and I just play them something crazy. You know what I mean? I almost got in trouble playing them Boys in the Hood, Easy.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay.
A lot of lessons you can learn in that song.
I'm picturing some like cranky principal walking with their little thermos and lanyard and just like,
Yeah.
out of the, what is that?
What is happening in this room? And yeah, like
sound
they
like
used to
Jack
get
Johnson.
on me. Like the teachers, man, the principal, they hated me, man. They're like,
They didn't see the vision though.
little too much music going on in this classroom.
Yeah,
Like, what are you teaching over there? Like they didn't like. There's no real room in education for like creativity and trying new things. Unfortunately, it's like, don't teach to the test, but here's how to teach to the test.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like these kids need to pass these standardized tests, and so anything else does not matter. Unfortunately, because that's tied to the funding they're going to get for the school. So a lot of that is like, it takes away teachers' creativity and desire to kind of do cool things. All my friends who taught back then are now either out of teaching completely. The pandemic probably did that for them, or they're out of the classroom now. And so they're now counselors, they're principals, they're doing other stuff because that's where the real money is. Like there's no money in the classroom.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got the hardest job in the world.
I know, man.
And so that's where it got weird for me, where I was like, man, I did a year of probably going out to conventions, playing shows at festivals half the year, and then counting and comparing my finances and being like, I'm almost making the same thing playing rap shows for 25 people as I am teaching at school. This is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So I'd rather struggle doing what I love. And so, yeah, there's been some struggles, you know what I mean? But at least I'm like doing what I love to do.
That's important.
And that's what it
man.
comes down to. Like you'll work so much harder for yourself than you will for anybody else. And when you realize that, I think that the sky's the limit.
Damn.
Wow. Do you feel? I feel like it's a tricky thing, and it's like, so as someone that made the leap, like you were like, okay, I put the notice in, I did it. You got the offer. Sounds like pretty shortly after to get the tour going, and then so it sounds like we'll get into it, but like sounds like it continued from there. Do you feel like you could tell someone like this is the moment you need to make the switch, or is it kind of like a gut feel thing?
Nah, you got to know it, man. Because I thought, the Jeremy Lin song, that was going to do it. I wrote another song. Capcom got involved before the Jeremy Lin song even. Like they found me, they were like licensing me.
I was gonna say that's what's crazy about a lot of your stuff. Like you have all these images and logos and things, and it's like you get to use those. That's people don't understand from a business perspective how crazy that is.
They've been very nice about letting me do these things.
Yeah.
So I gotta shout them out for that.
No.
But yeah, like I just didn't feel right. I got laid off at another position before this one, and I jumped right back into teaching. Like I was like, I don't know what to do. Let me go back in. I was afraid.
Yeah.
So the timing just has to be right, and only you know, truly. Like, I don't think I could look at somebody and be like, "You're ready. Like, go do this full time."
Or these are the things that you need. It's like, it's just kind of that. It's just like when you really think it's the only option that you'll be happy. It's like if you continue doing this, you're dying a slow death. Like it'll feel like that, and you're like, okay, I've gone down this exit. There were a few before it. This is the last exit before that dream dies.
But also, I can totally agree with that. But I've had situations where I tell people like, yo, if you go to sleep thinking about this thing, you wake up thinking about this thing, you're going all through life, everywhere you go, you're thinking about that project, that content, that thing that you really want to be doing, and you're not able to give time to it, then something's got to give. You got to cut something out to make time for this thing.
Yeah.
Because I do think that God makes a way for people who are really meant to be doing what they're doing. Yeah. But you got to read the signs too. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's
I love God helps those who help themselves. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like,
He's like, yo, I got this window up. Like, what are you doing? All right, man.
Yeah. God creates and we got to take it from there.
You just got to go. Like, if you really believe in it, and I firmly believe that, I was like, you know what? Like I said, over this, almost 15 years that I've been doing this full time, there's been some close calls. I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Where I was just like, yo, rent is due tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. And then that thing you did 6 months ago finally comes through. Or that person that said they were going to do a thing and pay you for that thing, it comes through at the last moment, man. Like, it has always happened. And that's why I was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yep. Because God ain't failed me yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's a situation where if you reward it by giving it your all, you know, and then it comes back to you tenfold.
But also like iterating too. It's not like I think a trap people can fall into is like, no, I just got to keep hammering away at this one thing, and it's like that's the kind of you got to listen to.
You got to see some signs.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to explain to someone too because it is different for everyone. Like you know, it's just it's like different. that is a balance though. It's like.
It's so different for everybody. Like that's the thing. I can't really explain how it would be for another person because, you know, there's so many factors. Like now I have a wife and kid, like I didn't in the beginning. Yeah. So I was able to take a lot more risks. You know what I mean? I was like, man, all I got to do is keep my cell phone on. Yes. And I'm out. Like I'm out here. Like that's it. You know, just got to keep the same phone number on. That's it. And nothing else mattered. And now I'm like, oh man, I got to feed 2 other people over here. So it's like, you got to be really careful. So yeah, it was just the timing of everything.
Wow. That's awesome.
I want to pivot a little bit because there was something that we discovered in the research. Is it true that you performed with Wale Folarin at a WWE event, or were you?
Yeah, well, let me think. What did I do with? I mean, Wale's a good friend. Shout out to Wale.
Wait, he's a good friend.
Good friend. Wale Folarin's a good friend.
Yo, what?
Oh, you mean one of our favorite?
Yeah.
Just a formative rapper for our years.
An absolute genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the best poets in the game.
Yeah,
absolutely. One of the best. He's also a huge wrestling fan.
Yes,
and that's how I met him.
He loves wrestling.
Wow, I don't know.
Yeah, so I knew he was a big.
He's a huge wrestling head. He used to do this event called Wale Mania.
That's right.
And so they would do it during WrestleMania. And so, gosh, maybe the first or second one they did, maybe in Texas, I came out to the show. I'm just hanging out. And somebody, I think his man Kaz, shout out to Kazim, I think he introduced me like, yo, Folarin, do you know Mega Ran? He's like, yo, I love Mega Ran. Yo, come here. And like we dap up. And I was like, what is happening right now?
I
was like, bro, I've been listening to Wale since the mixtapes. Like, bro, like from the beginning.
Yes.
From the beginning, I've been a huge fan of Wale. Man.
So he was on Interscope. I remember that album. And then he left them to MMG. Yeah.
I have every album. Yep. He was on the Roots album. Like, that was one of the first features he popped up on. And we're just mutual fans of wrestling. So every time I run into him, it's love. We sit, we chat. We've written songs together that were supposed to be on WWE but haven't come out. That's great. It's pretty wild, man. Like when I started working on, I'm probably gonna try to circle back on that at some point. But when I started working on a new album, maybe a few years ago, but right before I did the Children's album, I was like, it might be time to dust off that Wale record, And I talked to my producer, and we were like, let's see. But I think that the fine print has it kind of caught up where like WWE bought it, and so therefore it's their property. So I don't know if they want to release it or whatever. But we got a song together. We see each other's love. Like awesome, he's an amazing cat. I'm so glad the new record is banging. It's one of my favorites of the year. So yeah, that's you made me give a name drop. I was gonna try not to be name dropping.
I had
here.
to because Jared and I that's formative. And that he kind of rose in our college years for us. And just I love the boy. And so and you know we talk about like what happened to the MG thing, but for those who kept up, Wale was.
Those who know. Like he's one of those cats that like the people whose opinion I respect on music. Love that dude. You know what I mean? Facts. And it's like, and I get on him sometimes. I jump in his DMs where I'm like, yo, man, like stop answering these idiot fans on Twitter.
He does respond a lot. I mean? That's his
I'll be like,
thing.
yo,
Kevin Durant.
don't.
Yes.
And he's like, I got time, man. He's like, I'm just in an Uber. Like I ain't, you know what I mean?
The Slim Reaper on Twitter with his burners, dude.
They're both, they're both DMV cats too. Like that.
Yes, they are from the DMV.
I was gonna say, but he's DC, right?
You know what?
They all I know.
It's the same kind of area, and they were actually like they're cool too.
But there is like so like Pusha and them, they're specifically Virginia though, from the DMV. Correct. I think Wale is DC. Who's a better artist out of DC? The only other person I know out of DC, honestly, off the top of my head was Fat Trell. Was the only other DC artist that had Fat Trell had a run, dude.
I don't know any DC artists. All right, I'm about to like. I don't know how underground y'all are.
Get a Gunplay-esque run, dude. I have. The same way.
What is happening right now?
So here's my thing. I'm sorry. The same way there's like random subsets of guys get an affinity for NBA role players. I get that for like certain rappers that had a like crazy
rap role players.
I saw something in them and I invested just emotionally in them.
What else he talks about that makes you laugh is like, remember Gunplay?
I remember the name.
Gunplay, dude. Listen,
MMG.
I couldn't tell you a bar from him, but I remember the name. Dude, I remember thinking this might be the worst rap name of all time.
Cartoons and Cereal, him and Kendrick.
Oh,
I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan, but
what?
I'm
okay,
not,
this
I'm
interview's
not
over. I'm out of here.
I'm not as big fan.
You waste my interview time talking about some Fat Trell and Gunplay. And
I mean, I guess I don't hate. I like early Kendrick. I like early Kendrick. I like early Kendrick.
First of all,
we're Team Drake.
We're Team Drake on that.
Oh my gosh, I'm out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah.
Respectfully,
I don't know how much you keep up with Gunplay these days, but the most recent news is awful.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, I know. It didn't go well.
He's not great.
It did go.
Allen Iverson's the best rapper from the DMV. In my
let's.
We also love Hoopers that rap. Dude.
AI was growing up as my favorite ball player, dude. Still love that guy.
Being from Philly, the same thing. Like I just read his book, and he was talking about how like Philly was home to him, and he's like, no, this guy's from Virginia, but like Philadelphia embraced him as a son. Like you said, never had to pay for a drink out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, huge fan of Wale. Shout out to him. The new record's so good. I hit him up once in a while, just being like, "Yo, man, stop feeding the trolls, man."
To have any connection to him,
and he's like, this is fun for me. I'm just in an Uber going to go do a thing and get paid. I'm fine. You know what I mean? And I'm always like, just kind of checking in on like everybody's like headspace. Like it can't be easy. Like I get 10 tweets a day. He might get 10 tweets a minute saying like, yo, you suck or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like that I can't be great for your headspace. You know what I mean? I remember, what was that show? One of those shows they do where like read the mean tweets about you. And they would have people do it.
It's like a Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Like one of those shows. And I'll be like, man, I don't think I can handle that. Like I'll be sitting there reading like, you fat. Like, okay, man. All right. Where you live. You know what I mean?
There's like, plenty of successful people in media like that will be like, don't ever read the comments. Yes. Just look at the numbers. And just look at the numbers. Or
the Grammy nominations.
You can't be
that
totally
probably helps
blind.
too.
Yeah.
I think, man, like I had one, and I don't get a lot of haters because I think I'm just such a positive guy, and maybe I filter a lot of that out. But I had one about the nomination. Somebody was like, "Oh, what a wasted nomination," or something. This is so bad, or something like that. It was something like that. Somebody said, and then I went to their page because I was feeling petty. I had time, and they were streaming on Twitch. He's like, "Yo, live right now," and I was like, "Oh yeah." Let's go.
No.
So I jump in his stream and he's like playing a video game. No camera, of course, like no picture. No nothing. Of course, dude. And I just said, "Sup?" And then I left. And then I went back to Twitter and I was like, "Yo, I just helped you out by I doubled your stream viewership by jumping in your stream for 10 seconds." And because he only had one viewer and it was probably himself.
Dude, that's awesome.
And so then I was like, you gotta consider the source, bro. The math, bro. I was like, yo, I just doubled your viewership
100% increase.
just by hopping in.
2x you.
Yeah, 2x you. And so then I had to be like, man, consider the source. Like, of course, no photo, no picture, no camera image. Like, this is a
It'd be them
faceless.
ones. It'd be them ones.
Yeah, it's a faceless troll that says negative things because that gets more attention than positive things. If you are the 16th person that says Wale's album is fire, he's probably not going to get to that response. But if you come in here and say he's been trash for years, you know you might get a response. Yeah. And so that's why they say don't feed the trolls, because they get energy off of it. You know what I mean?
If you've seen the South Park on it, that's exactly, they harness the energy.
They harness the energy. I've seen people literally have their Twitter account be like blocked by John Cena on X day because they're just, it's their claim to fame.
Yep.
Like, yo, that person actually went to my account and hit block. Wow. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't give them what they want.
Well,
yeah. That person's assistant's social media manager went to my profile and hit block.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that person.
That's what they, I know, but they think it's John Cena.
Yes, of course they do.
Whatever
John
makes you
Cena's
sleep
in
at
an Uber
night.
like, fuck John 3, this guy, man. You know, I don't like this guy. The heck with this guy.
Well, I mean, speaking of the nomination, Buddy's Magic Treehouse.
Hey.
We learned too that, you know, I think a lot of the inspiration, if we're correct, came from your foster child, your son.
Yes.
First off, like, what is the process to even, I guess, be involved in the, you know, in the Grammy whole process, and just like, how did you decide this album? Like, we gotta know this.
This has been interesting. I've been a member of the Recording Academy since like 2010, because they just kind of, I don't know, somebody just told me like you should join, and I was like, okay, and so I joined. You pay dues, like you know, like any other organization, and I wasn't really active in the account. Because I was living out here, and unfortunately there's no chapter in Arizona. So our closest chapter is LA. So therefore, everyone in Arizona that is in there, they're in the LA chapter. It's considered like the Southwest chapter now. So you go to meetings and things like that. But I heard the Grammy chairperson now, Harvey Mason, say, he's like, honestly, I only joined the Academy so I could vote for my own album. Wow. When I run for album of the year, you know, and it's like, yes, it's a petty reason, but you're like, yes, you can vote, and you can vote for your own album. So you get to be a decision maker in the process. Yep. And so that's exciting enough for people to want to join. But also, once you get in, you can fight for advocacy in music. You know, there's so much stuff going on with AI right now. There's Congress, there's streaming, you know, royalties. There's so much stuff that somebody got to speak up for, and it needs to be musicians. And so through the Academy, they cats go to Congress, they go to sit in on meetings, they get to really talk about how legislature is getting pushed through. So there's that part is the good part. I didn't know any of that when I joined in 2010. I was like, I'll just do it. And then I submit my album and see what happens. And then, so what happens is, yes, to get to this point, you have to, of course, create an album. That's why I did a little freestyle about it. I don't know if you saw it. I did a little rap where I was like, a rapper explains the Grammy process. And it's like, it's like, what did I say? I said, you got an album and you think that it's a challenger. First, check the product eligibility calendar. So you got to look at the calendar and make sure that your album falls between a certain cutoff date. Like it's between August and September or whatever of that previous year. And so if your album has come out within that time, you can submit it for the next year's Grammys. The next thing is you get your category right. You're like, okay, if this is a rap album, submit it for best rap album. Children's album, submit it for best children's album. You submit, and then you wait for them to listen and approve it, or sometimes they don't. They be like, oh, this doesn't fit, in the category, okay. Wrong category, or album's too old, songs are too old, whatever, you know. But everything I've submitted, luckily, has, you know, at least gotten accepted. So you get accepted, then you're on a short list, and the short list actually is kind of long, you know. So it might be 150 albums on the short list. And so they show you, and you only see that until when voting opens. Okay. And so you look then and you find voting time, and voting time, because you're an active member, they'll let you know, like, yo, it's time to vote. and you see everybody's album, from top to bottom, and you're like, oh, there's Clips, there's, Kendrick, there's whatever, and you get to really be a part of this decision. So it's exciting. Like I sit with my wife, and like if it's R&B.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
And
yeah,
she's
I
like,
would absolutely do that.
Yeah, if it's R&B and I don't know it, and she's like, oh man, that Coco Jones album is fire, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. And they even have like little listening points there where you can hit play on their Spotify and listen, you know what I'm saying? And so the first time I did it, I was like, nobody goes through all this music. Like I just started getting skeptical about the process. I was like, nobody goes through all these 100 albums. Like who's listening to all these? But it's fun to do. So I actually sit there and listen to as much as I can, and then vote. So then only voters or only members can vote. Okay. So therefore you have to be an up-to-date current member to vote. And right now I think there's about 6,000 members. Or was there 6,000 new members? I think it might be more than that.
I was going to say 6,000 is surprisingly low.
I don't know.
For me,
We'd have to ask Google. I don't know. But I just saw that they were like really excited about a new class of like several thousand new people coming in. So it's probably more than 6,000.
That's
but everybody can't vote in every category because everybody's not an expert in every category. I don't know the top gospel albums, for example, the top chamber music ensembles. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't keep up. It's been an off year for me. Like
Icelandic chant music.
I missed the chamber.
You were praising,
stuff.
but you weren't keeping up on the music.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pick a few of your like expertise sections, and then you vote from there. And then this year, luckily, by the grace of God, like 5 albums are chosen. There was 130 in children's this year. Wow. And 5 were chosen. And what's cool is I know 4 of the other people. Like we've kind of hung out, we've collaborated, some of us, and so it's really cool to see. Like it's us and Tori Amos, and I don't know if you're familiar with Tori Amos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
But kind of a legend from the '90s,
big legend,
who just did a children's record. Yeah. So and she's like a 9-time nominee. Like she's big. Like I never thought I'd be in the same category with Tori Amos. Like what do we do that's similar? Yeah. Like singer-songwriter stuff. And that's really it. But in the process, I mean,
that's crazy.
You got to get you got to get the name out. You got to get the work out. So of course you're doing what you can to get people to listen. You're shooting high quality content around this stuff, music videos. You're talking about it. You do like what they call a for your consideration campaign, like FYC, which means you have to literally talk to voters and be like, yo, please consider my album,
Here's why.
And here's why. Here's why it's cool, And it's insane, bro. I didn't ever think this was a possibility, but you just submit it and you just hope for the best. And I was like, wait, what? Like it just really felt unreal to me to see Buddy's Magic Tree House come up like that. I was like, wow.
Congrats again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And I mean that's what a process to go through.
Oh yeah, and it is quite a process. And even now, like voting opens in a few weeks, and so like right before Christmas, and so then it starts all over again. You're just like hoping people who have already listened remember you. In the first round they have 5 they could pick, and now there's 5, and now it's just 1. You know what I mean? So now they can only pick 1. They can't be like, oh, first pick, second pick, third pick. No, they can only choose 1. So you're just hoping that yours was the exceptional project of the year. There's a 1 in 5 chance, we can pull it off.
Man. So hearing that, one of my thoughts is when you see big artists get cranky about the Grammys, do you think that? And everyone's like, oh, it's an ego thing. But I guess hearing this now, it kind of is gears like you're saying you have to talk to voters and be like, here's why I think you should vote. But you have to kind of placate the voters.
But I think a lot of the record labels do that, though.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
They do that for you.
They speak for you.
I feel like
so
that's kind of
I can see people getting in their feelings about having to like go do a senior thesis defense or something about their album. I can't picture Kendrick or Drake doing that.
But what Kendrick or Drake does is I just got the new episode or the new issue of Billboard magazine. And the front of it was a rap of GNX.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like half the car on the one side, half the car on the other side. For your consideration, Kendrick Lamar, GNX.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I can't afford to do that. You know what I mean? So
there's a different.
There is a different type of
politicking
that goes into it. Is paying for big ads. Like you ride around in LA, you'll see for your consideration Lady Gaga ads on billboards
because that's a big hub.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So because it's a big hub.
Huh.
So. but people politic on different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me, I can't afford that. So I'm like, I better make a funny TikTok video. Then, you know what I mean?
That's
you
cool.
know.
Something to promote it.
So you got to do something. You just got to be working your project, and that's probably the biggest thing I tell any new artist. Oh my gosh, or new or old, people put out albums, they put out singles, and then they just like forget about it in a day or two. And I'm like, yo, you got to push this thing. Like, do you think Kendrick Lamar stopped talking about GNX? You know, like his people are not talking about this record still. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never ends. If this is your new thing, you got to treat it like it's the most important thing to you.
Got to.
You know, and it's like that really makes me sad when people just fall off on the promotion tip, and they just realizing or doing the bare minimum. It's like, okay, I'm gonna post a picture of my artwork, and then you don't see anything else. Tomorrow, you know what? Tomorrow though, new picture of my artwork, same artwork, but another picture.
Yeah, they think it's like a firework. They just you send it off, boom, and it's like, oh man, I hope 500,000 people saw that, and if they didn't, they never will. And it's like it's a layering process.
It's not even a firework. You look up in the air, you're gonna see a firework. It's like
it's a little,
I don't know. It's a sparkler.
you know, what are they, lady fingers?
Yeah.
That'd be too, but that'd be a bunch of them. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like a little sparkler. But yeah, like you gotta believe in it and push it, and that's, you can't stop really. Yeah. And I remember we used to run a podcast way back in the day. I interviewed I think Evidence of Dilated Peoples, and he was like, if I don't put a year into my project and promoting it, then I know that I failed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I have to believe that this is strong enough that I want to talk about it for a year. You know what I mean? Right. Nowadays, I don't know if that's the case. That was a while ago. Yeah. So nowadays, people, 2-3 months, you're probably putting out another project. You know what I'm saying? If you're like Bodie James or somebody, or West Side Gun, like they kind of drop projects pretty quick. Yeah. But like, I do think like having a time period where you're going to be constantly focused on this thing like it's the newest, best, hottest, greatest thing you could ever make, instead of being like, this is cool, but wait till the next thing, and they're like, wait, well then I'm forgetting about this because you forgot about it.
When your girl keeps interrupting when you're trying to explain West Side Gun to her, dude. Have you ever seen those memes?
Yeah.
I love those.
It's so good.
What else you got?
Shout out to West, another friend of mine. Shout out to West.
Was there anything, I mean, I would say one thing I've noticed, you're, with the music, you're not officially a teacher right now, I guess, but an educator very much. Like, you still try and educate people, like with the process, with the music, with the kids' music.
No, that's true. I do. Whenever I can, like I mentor a couple of younger artists. Whenever I can, I give advice. I help book tours. I help people kind of just strategize social media stuff. Like, I've been on that stuff since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? I've had a Twitter since 2008. You know what I mean? So like, I understand how a lot of these things work. And so I try to share my knowledge whenever I can, because I want to see people succeed, especially if I believe in them. I believe in your music, your talent. Then I'm like, all right, if you're willing to listen, I got some ideas. I'll do that a lot of times with people. Yeah.
I gotta call out. I mean, I guess we're not officially into the music yet, but I just want to say, like, so I don't know if you're familiar with like old Gucci Mane like mixtape covers. Like they always like incorporated some theme or something, like the Willy Wonka ones, and then like Waka had the Duflocka rants and stuff. Yes. I feel like you have that lane in this culture really carved out, because I just gotta say the Randalorian. That goes crazy, and that song goes crazy. The Randalorian was crazy.
I think that was somebody on Twitter was like, "Yo, when you gonna drop the Randalorian?" I was like, "Whoa!" Dude. I did a T-shirt immediately. I did the song right after that. That's awesome. Yeah. I try. Like, I call my fans the Randos. That hasn't really taken off yet, but I feel like if I give it time and I really work it,
Randos. We gotta get you like a Rambo license. There. That would be okay. Maybe a little not the lane. Maybe not the lane. Yeah, a little Rambo. But no, I don't know. But
maybe
I love I thought Randalorian was incredible, and obviously all the Mega Ran references. The Final Fantasy too. I remember playing that back in the day.
Final Fantasy. That's funny. I didn't really get to that, but I think it's one of the greatest role playing games of all time. Just great stories. Final Fantasy 7 came out in '97, and 97 was such a key year for me, man. Like, that's the year Biggie died. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then like this amazing game came out the same year.
Double disc? Right?
Yeah,
It was
like,
a double
I think
disc.
it was like 4 discs.
Was it 4? Oh, it's right. It was.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
was a
I
lot of
remember
discs.
getting that and being like, "What the?
Like, what
is
do I do with this?
Dude,
Yeah, like so many discs, but you don't even get to the other one until like 4 or 5, 6, 7 hours later, and you're like, oh, now it's time to change disc, you know. But yeah, like just the story, like there's like loss, like people die in that game, like your character dies, and you're like, yo, what are you supposed to do with this? Like what, you know? And just being able to process that when you're never thinking the game is going to do that to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and they do.
It forever stuck
When Morgan
with me.
dies, come on, dude. When Morgan died in Red Dead,
Red Dead, man.
that killed me.
But games
are-
now are like they touch you like movies. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the start of that. Final Fantasy 7.
Are you an RPG guy for games? Is that what you prefer?
Big time. Big. I'm playing Expedition 33 right now, which is my game of the year. That
Okay.
game is phenomenal. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's so good.
I was in the scene. I haven't fired up my Xbox in a couple years. I'm sad to say it. It's just been life's taken me in a different direction. We'll get there
understand.
someday.
I
But
understand.
what are your top 3, 5 in no particular order, or if you have them ranked, go for it. But like RPGs of all time, what do you enjoy?
Okay. Well, Final Fantasy 7. I won't just name a bunch of Final Fantasies because there's a lot of them that I really love. But Dragon Quest is in there. I don't know if you ever played Dragon Quest.
Oh, I'm thinking of Dragon Age. I missed that. Dragon Quest.
Oh,
What's
Dragon Quest was on NES, but they've made so many of them now.
Okay.
It was called Dragon Warrior on the Nintendo, and then later it became Dragon Quest. There's like 10 of them now. Breath of Fire on the Super Nintendo. Fire, so good. Most of them are Super Nintendo, honestly, but there's one on Genesis called Shining Force. Really good.
Really quick, take a Genesis. Do you remember Earthworm Jim?
Yeah.
Dude, what a
Heck
game
yeah,
that
dude.
was.
Oh, man, the animation was so crazy.
Dude,
You would just be like,
love that game.
Ah, so good. And Phantasy Star Online, which is Dreamcast. It was the first like online role playing game where you could like team up and stuff with people from all over the world. That was super dope. And Baldur's Gate is a newer one. So those
that I
are my
know.
tops. Yeah.
Damn, dude. I didn't. Yeah, that's
And then
awesome.
Expedition 33, which is brand new, but I still think it's going to be one of the all time goats.
Oh wow. Okay. I was a huge Fallout guy.
Okay.
And then so I was like a big Fallout. And
The
then,
show is amazing. Have you watched the show?
Oh, incredible!
I've heard good things about it.
Absolutely,
Is it?
It would be.
Probably
I'd be
better
hard,
than the games. I don't know. It's really good.
I would be hard pressed to think of a show that did a better justice to a video game.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like
spot
the best
on
adaptation.
with it.
Yeah.
I just thought the lore of the universe. So the lore of that universe is basically like, so there was like the Cold War era, right? So like 50s. So imagine like 50s aesthetics, but the idea is that instead of like, there was nuclear war, but we really went crazy on harnessing nuclear technology.
Okay.
So there's like all this futuristic stuff, but it's set in the 50s, and it's good. And they killed that in the show. So yeah,
It's so good.
that was one of the best. Man,
Is it time?
well, yeah, I think it could be.
What is it? Was there anything else you wanted to?
Anything else?
I mean, there's 1,000
Dude,
things.
there is. With you, it's like we could have you back on like
yeah.
10 more times, dude.
All right. So the next nomination, or after the win,
Hey,
me-
can we
have-
like if we'll win or not? Like we want to like we'll get you on to just.
oh yeah,
that
I would love to talk
experience
about the
alone,
experience. Everybody's talking about like how it's going to be like an exhausting like week because you got to kind of be out there for like almost a week,
Damn.
just doing
Like
nominee
campaigning,
stuff.
right?
Not really campaigning. It's over. It's more like the celebration, but it just
Okay.
never stops. So it's like party after party. You know, nominees get like a medal. So there's like a medal ceremony, which is kind of dope.
Gotta be there.
So I'm excited. I'm bringing my kid
Rock
too.
the medal, dude, when you come next episode.
Yo, I'll bring the medal. Yep. I'm bringing some hardware. Either way, you know?
Well, Mega Man, we appreciate you, bro. Like I said, you're an AZ legend. You're becoming a bigger legend than that.
Thank you.
I think your impact says it all, man. We've been in this scene for a few years now, and we know kind of who's the who's who out here, bro. And just to see what you've done and the lanes you're in, it's just your movement in general, man. It's impressive to see. It's motivating. I'll
Thank
say.
you. Thank you so much.
100%, it really is.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's what's up.
You ready to hit this freestyle?
I think so.
How you feeling?
I literally wrote it today. So
Okay.
I don't know.